everyone. Today we're going to be discussing virtual coaching best practices. We will learn about how to identify target gaps online, scheduling time with our teams, and virtual coaching best practices. First, let's talk about how to identify a target gap online. What is a target gap? Our current performance is our reality, or where we are. Our ideal performance is where we want to be. The space between those two places is what we refer to as our target gap. A target gap is the highest priority issue that prevents us from being where we need to be. For an agent, it could be a habit that they have consistently throughout multiple calls that prevents them from meeting a metric, such as a QA score or a high priority KPI. So how do we identify a target gap? Call monitoring is even more important now that some team members are working from home. Since we're unable to walk through the aisles and hear conversations that may be off and provide quick on-the-spot coaching, we have to be proactive and make time to monitor each agent equally. Make sure that you're listening to multiple calls from each agent on your team. This ensures that you have a high-level view of their overall performance, not just one call where they could have made a unique mistake or had a perfect performance. Now we're going to talk about scheduling time with our teams. Prioritizing your schedule. Once we have the most impactful target gap identified for each agent, it is important to plan our schedule accordingly. We must take the time to meet with each agent. In person, we can become used to relying on our agents to reach out to us if they need help or development. However, when working remotely, we can't expect our team to communicate the same as they did before. Our team members may want to avoid bothering us or assume that we're too busy for their concerns. As leaders, it's our responsibility to ensure we're reaching out to our team members equally to address any concerns they may have and check in on them. Being proactive. We need to be proactive with our schedule. Make sure that you're planning for at least one full-length coaching session with every team member every week by contacting and working with our workforce management team. It's important to honor the times you set with each team member and openly communicate if you need to adjust the time you scheduled with them. Adjusting your schedule last minute can make others feel as though their time with you is unimportant, the opposite of how we want our team members to feel. Be realistic with your schedule. Schedule enough time to complete reporting tasks and other duties throughout your day. Set realistic time frames for how long it takes you to complete reports and allow yourself buffer time. For example, if you have a report that is due at 12 p.m. and a coaching session that is scheduled from 11:30 a.m. to 12 p.m., it is unlikely that you will be able to stay 100% focused on your team member throughout the session instead of working on that report on the side, or rescheduling the coaching session for another time. Use a discussion planner. If you are struggling with how to prioritize tasks, reach out to your immediate supervisor or manager. It is our duty as leaders to make time for our people. In fact, it should be our number one priority. To help with planning your discussion, plan out how you want the conversation to flow. Be sure to guide the coaching conversation in a manner that addresses the target gap you identified, and you're using the ARISE coaching method for the most effective coaching experience.
Hi, Kim. Thanks for meeting with me today. How's it going?
It's going. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good. Pretty good Monday so far. Did you do anything fun this weekend?
Well, I watched Hamilton for the first time. That was fun.
Oh, awesome. I remember you telling me about how you liked musicals during our last coaching session. Hamilton's got great reviews. I'm glad you liked it. I should check it out myself.
Definitely.
So, Kim, let's dive into this coaching session. How's it going on the phone so far?
I feel like it's going well, but my stats say otherwise.
Okay, well, let's take a second and focus on the positive. What improvements or what do you feel like you're doing well right now?
I feel like I'm really polite with the customers and that I am great at having a conversation with them and building rapport.
Absolutely. Kim, I can really tell that you're applying the feedback from your last coaching session because I'm hearing pleases and thank yous on every single phone call. So great job applying your SMART goal. Keep it up.
Thanks, Chris.
No problem. You earned it. So Kim, you mentioned a little bit before that your stats aren't where they want to be. Let's take a look at that. Is there any stat in particular that you feel like you could work on?
I mean, everyone keeps mentioning that my AHT is really high, my average handle time.
Okay, well, let's take a look at your average handle time. That's a great topic to discuss. Kim, during your phone call, what parts of the phone call seem to be taking a little bit too longer to get the job done?
I mean, I don't know how long is too long because I don't want to interrupt the customers or be rude with them and say, I got to get back to business because of my stats. I just want to be professional and let them do what they need to do.
Okay, let's look into that a little bit more. So Kim, at the beginning of your phone call, after your opening, what do you typically ask to get the customer's problem?
I ask them how I can help them today.
All right, and then that's when you said the customer starts rambling, right?
Yeah, generally.
Okay, so when the customer's done rambling, and that takes a long time, that's a good thing that we want to focus on. So let's look at that. Once you ask a customer what their problem is, what is something that you could do to let them know that you're going to start working on the specific problem that they addressed?
I can tell them, thank you for sharing that with me. I'd be happy to look into getting that corrected for you.
So if I was a customer and I told you what my problem was, and you followed up with that statement of that you'd be happy to help me with the issue, how would that prevent me from going on a rant, ramble, or just talking too long?
Well, I guess they might keep talking because I haven't really given them direction. So by telling them what I'm going to do, it kind of helps calm them down.
Okay? So if they're calmed down and you let them know that you're there to help them, how is that going to help your average handle time?
A lot because they'll stop talking.
Well, a little chit chat here and there is fine, but if they stop their rambling, you can actually help them with their problem that they're calling with. That certainly would make their lives a lot easier, wouldn't it?
Yes, it would.
So, Kim, do you think this action would help you reduce your average handle time?
Yes, I do.
So, good. How about we make a SMART goal about it?
It sounds good.
All right, so let's start with S, which we know stands for
Specific.
Great job, Kim. I can tell that you took that course in the LMS. Fantastic. So, Kim, what is a specific thing that we can do on every single phone call to make sure the customer knows that they've been heard?
I can let them know that I'm going to help them and acknowledge their concern.
Okay, so we're going to acknowledge their concern, and let's make sure that we reiterate what they say so they know that their own words have been heard. Okay, awesome. So let's document that for our S. So, Kim, I want to make sure that I'm held accountable to help support you in the SMART goal. How can we measure you doing that specific action on every single phone call?
My QA score.
Okay, when we grade your calls, we can definitely look for that as well. How would you like me to hold you accountable on the phones?
If you hear me or hear a place where I could have acknowledged their concern sooner, while you're live listening to me, just let me know. Maybe we can practice it.
Okay, so I'll be sure to look for this in your QA scores, as well as I'll be sure to live listen to your calls regularly for that specific goal that we set. So Kim, if we're really just asking how can I help you today? And then our specific goal of saying I'd be happy to help you with that problem. Does this seem like something that's realistically achievable for you?
Yeah, I mean, barring like crazy circumstances. But yeah, I feel like it's something I have control over.
Okay, well, control is the most important thing. Crazy circumstances are going to pop up here and there, but if we can demonstrate this good behavior consistently, I think we're going to see some great results. So let's talk about R, which is our relevant portion of a SMART goal. If you were to give an affirmation statement and let them know that you'd be happy to help with the reason that they're calling on every single phone call, how is that going to help the customer's experience?
It's gonna make them feel better, so they'll be easier to handle and turn around.
I think not only they're going to be easier to handle, but they're going to be more willing to answer your questions and make sure that they're not talking too much to let you do your job. How is it going to make your job easier, Kim?
Like you said, I'll be able to get answers for what I need in order to get through the call faster.
Okay, awesome. And I think once you get through those phone calls quicker, it's going to help lower the queues and kind of help your coworkers as well. So I think there's a lot of good elements here of just doing one small behavior change. We're going to see a lot of benefits for everyone involved. So Kim, I think this is a reasonable goal that we can write up right now for you. In terms of time frame, when would you like us to circle back and make sure we're assessing how effective this goal has been?
Can we check in later on this week?
Okay, I tell you what, I'll be sure to live listen to your calls daily, and you make sure that you follow up with me about how your goal is being applied and successes that you're seeing. And then I'll put a coaching appointment reminder for us to meet up 1 week from now. Sound good?
That sounds good.
Okay, awesome, Kim. You're doing great work, and I think if you work on applying the SMART goal, you're going to see your average handle time come down, and your life's going to get a whole lot easier.
Thanks, Chris.
Hey, no problem, Kim. We'll see you next week, and good luck.
Coaching documentation. It's incredibly important to document your coaching session. Your notes you use to prep for your coaching session can be used for this. Be sure to include the team members' feedback and any comments they may have, date and time the coaching session took place, and follow up or any action items needing completed before the next coaching session is held. Most organizations will have a coaching form or consistent process on how to store your coaching documentation. At RDI, we use a form that is to be covered with our agents each week, and it is saved in our performance monitoring section of our internal system we use called RDI Core. Now let's move on to virtual coaching best practices. Challenges of virtual coaching. As coaches, we may be used to face-to-face interactions being easier because our team members are physically with us. Walking by them and just saying a friendly hello and asking them how they are takes no time at all. With virtual coaching, you have to cautiously think about reaching out to your employees. It's easier to forget to touch base with them because you aren't actually looking at them. So making a habit of reaching out to each one as often as you can will really help. Methods of virtual interactions. Virtual interactions should be prioritized in the following way when performing a coaching session. First would be video conferencing. Second would be a phone conversation. And third, using a chat platform for your conversation. Video conferencing. Video conferences mimics face-to-face interactions the closest. So if this option is available, it's important to utilize it. If you're unfamiliar with Zoom, please take the MyRDI course, Zoom, Usage, Attendance, and Hosting, to make the most of each coaching conversation. Be creative in your solutions. If you and your agent don't have the ability to use Zoom, use other platforms that may be available that you can use on your phone, off of the floor, of course, to ensure PCI compliance. Facebook Messenger, Skype, FaceTime, and Google Duo are available on most major smartphones and are great solutions if one party or another doesn't have a webcam. Phone conversations. Phone conversations are a great alternative to video conferencing if our agents don't have a webcam or access to video conferencing software. Ask leading and open-ended questions to build rapport with your team members. The information you obtain from the agent not only helps you build trust, but it can build loyalty with the agent. A primary function of our duties will be to provide professional recommendations to our agent as an educated advocate for them. Chat platforms. It is highly discouraged to provide coaching through a chat platform. However, following up on the goals you set are a great way of letting your team members know that they are valuable and important. When you set a SMART goal with an agent, you could chat them the following questions to remind them of their goal and encourage them, such as, how is your SMART goal working for you? When were you able to apply your SMART goal today? How did it make you feel when you were successful? What struggles or issues did you come across when applying your SMART goal? In today's summary, though we all have adjusted by using grit and hustle, it's important to remember that these skills are the same skills we have used all along. They just look a little different. The purpose of virtual coaching is to keep our L-Well culture alive every day, helping our agents earn, learn, and live well. Every day that we adjust and create new solutions to bridge gaps, we grow together. Remember to keep coaching smart, learning smart, and continue winning smart.